What's going on, guys? It's Groove, back with the last section from Mastery by Robert Greene. And this section is all about going ultra instinct, infusing the intuitive with the rational. All of us have the ability to access a higher level of intelligence, to anticipate trends, and to respond with speed to any circumstance. This is ultimately cultivated by immersing ourselves deeply in whatever field we choose to study. Over many years, we come to internalize this intuitive feel into complex components within our own career fields. We then come to have powers that approximate an instinctive force and speed of animals. Our brains were made to achieve this. Throughout history, we read about these masters in every field, whether it be scientists or athletes or chess grandmasters. These people have reached this higher intelligence, this intuition, if you will. But for some reason, humans don't really like to study it. We just think of it as something that, some people can maybe touch here and there, or they go into a flow state, but we don't really like to study it because we always want to just think about rational thinking. Rational thinking has been extremely successful for humans over the years, but intuitive thinking, this higher intelligence, is also a legitimate thing. So this higher intelligence is when you've been fully absorbed into whatever field you choose to go into, and so you no longer see the parts. He talks about like chess grandmasters. Like, you don't need to understand every piece of the game. You already fully understand it. You are totally absorbed. And so you can think 5, 10, 15 moves ahead. And this is what it feels like to be in that higher level of intelligence. Or for my anime nerds out there, which is why I named this episode Ultra Instinct, think about Goku when he was fighting Jiren. When he turned Ultra Instinct, it was over. He didn't have to think about anything. He was just going. This doesn't just apply to anime or cartoons. This is a legitimate way of thinking. There is a higher intelligence that we can all reach. Or scientists have gone down the route and understood that it takes you about 10,000 hours to master a subject. And so when it comes to this higher level intelligence, this intuitive thinking, he says you reach this when you hit about 20,000. So you got to double that. And then this is when you just instinctively understand your craft at whatever that is, and you start to just go into this flow state. So now that you know this, understand that in order to reach this flow state, in order to reach this higher intelligence, you're going to need to love whatever your craft is. You have to almost feel like this is destiny, like you are meant to do whatever you're doing. He says this is how you reach that flow state. Think about Steph Curry. When he's shooting those threes, everybody's just like, what the heck is going on? Like, he can just shoot it from anywhere on the court and turn around and start running, and it goes in. He's reached this higher level intelligence. So then he asked the question of, how do we know this is real? Because again, humans don't like to study this. They don't really like to look into this higher form of intelligence when it comes to the intuitive and, that being a legitimate way of doing things, or, mastering a craft. And he says that this comes from thousands and thousands of years ago. Before language was a thing, this was used for survival. This is how we got through during the Ice Age and during, the caveman days. We needed to have this level of intuition when it came for survival. When it came to hunting, we needed to understand, where an animal was going to be before it got there, so we know we could trap it. We could kill it so we could eat it. He mentions how, going back to this caveman days, he said it didn't really take them that long to grasp this higher intelligence because they needed it. And so they were able to focus. And so he says it all comes down to your memory and thinking. And, when you are fully focused on one thing, your brain creates these neural pathways. And so it allows your thinking to go into 100 different pathways to look for an answer to complex situations. Today, it's a lot harder for people to hit this higher intelligence because we're too distracted all the time. We can't think properly. We don't really focus on one thing. We don't master one thing, or, one career field, or, one life task. And so this really stops us, and people really don't like being challenged by complex situations. He says people today, instead of leaning into this complexity, instead of leaning into hard problems, we usually just get discouraged and don't even start. People today have developed this great taste for ease and comfort over complexity and problem solving, which really kills your brain in the long run. When he said this, it just made me think, I seen this TikTok of this girl, and you can tell, which memes or which TikToks are fake or real, but she was legit, she was like, I don't understand how people in the back or in the past traveled without GPS. She was like, people really pulled out a map and had to figure out how to get from one place to the next. She was legit, like the video was real. She wasn't joking. But this is what happens. It's really hard for humans today to reach this higher intelligence because we have it so easy. We don't want to do things the hard way. We don't want to, attack complex problems. Everything has kind of been dumbed down and kind of given to us today, which makes it harder for humans to reach this higher level intelligence today. If you want to tap back into this higher intelligence, he said it's a great thing to pick up a hobby, pick up a sport, pick up an instrument, pick up a second language, something that challenges you, something that is complex. And the first thing that I thought about was, because I really want to do this, but I want to learn like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, getting on that mat. Not only do you learn a skill, but you're also thinking 10 steps ahead. Okay, this person is trying to put me in this move, or how do I put somebody in this move, or how do I get out of this situation? He says this is how you build up this higher level intelligence, is you allow your brain to start thinking again. Chasing this higher level intelligence, whether it be through a sport or an instrument or trying to learn a second language, this not only helps us, break down complex problems. He says it also quiets our mind. It also dampens anxiety and depression in somebody's life. You gain a tolerance for complex problems and chaotic situations in your life. It allows you to get through life easier. Whenever something comes your way in life, it allows you to problem solve that thing better and get through it rather than just worrying about it. And again, when I read that, it just made me think about society today. Like, I'm a millennial, I'm in my mid-30s, but I look at Gen Z today, these kids that are in their mid-20s or early 20s, and I just look at them and I'm like, they're all cooked. They're all they're having all types of problems. They're all in therapy. They all got a therapist today. Like, why do you need a therapist? They all have anxiety. They're all broken mentally. And again, it's because nobody's trying to achieve this higher intelligence. Nobody's trying to do anything hard. Nobody's trying to face complex problems today. And so that it messes with you in the long run. It's not good for your health, for your mental, for your life. You need to, take on challenging situations. It just allows you to get through life better, because life is hard. And so we should all try to lean into the chaos so we're more able to deal with it. So that's pretty much it for this section. I really like this, understanding a higher intelligence, understanding that intuitive intelligence, it is a real thing, but it will require years and years of mastery. So make sure whatever you're doing in life, in order to achieve this higher level intelligence, you gotta love it. And with that, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in that next one. Peace.